ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the April 5th, 2016 Chino City Council meeting. Would you please rise for the flag salute? We're honored this evening to lead us in the pledge is the Don Lugo High School ROTC Color Guard. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's give a round of applause. Don Lugo ROTC Color Guard. Folks, take a seat. Okay, first ceremonial is National Public Safety to Telecommunications Week, April 10th through the 16th, and we'd like to call up our Chief of Police, Karen Comstock, and she will call some other people up. There you go, Chief.
Thank you, Mary. Members of the City Council. At this time, I'd like to invite some of our public safety dispatchers up to the front with me to accept this proclamation. And we have Public Safety Dispatcher Sheena Varela, Public Safety Dispatcher Glenn Oliver, and Public Safety Dispatcher Jennifer Latham. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chino Police Department is fortunate to have its own public safety answering point here right housed in the city of Chino, and we've had that for almost 25 years now. Annually, our dispatch center handles approximately 100,000 calls per year. We enter in about 75,000 calls for service, and of those calls, about 26,000 of them are 911 first response safety calls. Our dispatchers are an amazing group of professionals. They participate in several community outreach events, and we're so fortunate they're housed here right at the Chino Police Department. They're not off-site someplace in a part of the county where they're not embedded here and committed to the first responder safety. They really, really do enhance our first response, our safety of the community, and our service. I'm very proud of all of them that work so hard. They're professionals in their own right. And again, very committed to our community during different outreach commitments, whether it be text to 911 or attending career fairs at local high schools talking about their profession as a career. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Public Safety Dispatcher Oliver, who's going to talk to us a little bit about our communication center.
Can I read the proclamation
Oh, I'm
first?
sorry, Mayor. I apologize, Mayor. Holy cow.
That's why she's the chief.
So rude, Mayor.
I'll tell you know who the boss is.
I apologize,
That's
Mayor.
all right. That's all right. No, I don't need that.
Okay.
Just some experience that I have over the years. You don't know what tense is until you do the job these ladies do and the people in the communication center. When there's something really active going down and they're just, I'd go crazy with doing that. You wouldn't think it's a tough job if you didn't know, but it can be very, very stressful, especially if you got somebody who wants to shoot the officers and the pursuit's going on. It's just, you'd have heartburn all day. So you guys do a great job. Unbelievable. I don't know how you do it. The proclamation reads, whereas emergencies can strike any time, and when they do, we rely on the vigilance and preparedness of professional public safety dispatchers. And whereas professional public safety dispatchers are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services and serve as that vital link between the citizen and the first responder who may apprehend a criminal, save their possessions from fire, and save their life or the life of a loved one. And whereas the safety and effectiveness of our officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information provided by the dispatcher. And whereas the United States Congress has designated the second full week of April as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week to honor these men and women and their crucial role in the protecting life and property. And whereas the City of Chino proudly recognizes these dedicated professionals and commend them for the past 24 years of service, as well as their continued commitment to providing quality, caring service to the Chino community. Now, therefore, I, Dennis Yates, Mayor of the City of Chino, in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe, do hereby proclaim 24 years of quality community service from the Chino's Public Safety Dispatchers and recognize April 10th through the 16th, 2016 as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. We'd like to present that to your department.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I apologize. I'm very embarrassed by not allowing for you to read the proclamation first, so please forgive me. And at this time, I'd like to turn over to Glenda to just make a few words about our text to 911, our communications unit.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Chief. The email that I got said if I was asked to speak. So the key word here is few words. We're very honored to receive this proclamation from you guys. In the early 80s, Congress not only recognized our profession in the law enforcement community, but they deemed the second week in April to be dedicated to us. So it's quite an honor to get that not only here in the city of Chino, but also nationally. And we really appreciate it. Our latest accomplishment we're very proud of because we feel like we're on the cutting edge here. A lot of times in law enforcement you don't feel that way. The Text to 911. It's a new program that we have here in the county of San Bernardino. The county of San Bernardino, along with very few other agencies in California, are the first to roll it out. And this is as of, I believe it's early December of last year. And the city of Chino is part of that program. So it's not all-inclusive right now. There are some restrictions. The cell phone carriers won't allow a text to 911 go through. And if you're roaming, it doesn't allow you to go through. Unless you have a specific address that the cell tower can pinpoint, it doesn't allow it to go through. And the very first question that we ask once we get an address of where you are is if you can call 911. And if you're able to, we will certainly have them call again. But if you think about instances where calling 911 versus texting 911 would be beneficial, that's what we're here for. We want to reach the biggest part of the community that we can. And so that was the main goal in getting text to 911 out. Think about your family members or people that you know that stutter. Think about the hearing impaired that wouldn't feel comfortable calling 911. Or think about your teenagers that don't talk to you anymore and all they do is text.
Ain't that the truth?
We had an example of a text to 911 where we had received one from a student at the high school. And it was very nice to get a call from this teenager a couple minutes after they apologized for the accident, to apologize to us in person and then thank us for the job that we did. It was a nice call. We're very excited about it. We hope that it reaches more of the community. We hope that it goes statewide, and soon we hope that it goes nationwide. And that's all I have.
I don't know if you folks seen our new police station. I wouldn't even call it that. What's a fancier word? I don't know.
A beautiful police facility.
Yeah, one of those. But I would venture to say that we probably have the nicest facility of any PD in the state, bar none. If you've never been through it, it's amazing. But the communications center looks like something from Star Trek. I mean, you know, you walk in there and you go, ooh. But you guys do a great job, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you do, because I know how tough it is. And let's give them a big round of applause for a great job. No, I'm just kidding. Where am I? Over here. This is the first time Jack had to do this. He's all nervous. Yeah. His knees are knocking, but other than that, he's doing great. Next ceremonial proclamation is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we'd like to call up Myra Pratt, Community Services Coordinator with the City of Chino. Also, Jeffrey Horn, Supervising Social Practitioner with San Bernardino County Children and Family Services. I have a proclamation. I always hate this, doing this thing. Because I can't believe this happens. People abuse it. I remember one time years ago, my daughter got sick. This is back when I just got out of the service, didn't have any money. And so we had to go to the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. If you think you got problems, you ought to take a tour of that place. I mean, it's pitiful. People pour hot oil on the kids, and they fracture their skull, they break their arms. I'm going, I don't understand that. But if you think you're feeling bad for yourself, just take a tour of the Children's Hospital in L.A., huh? Anyway, proclamation reads, April 2016 is designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month by county, state, and federal governments for the purpose of promoting community involvement in preventing child abuse. And whereas the City of Chino and community partners believe all children have the right to be free from harm and to their physical, emotional, and educational needs met. And this gets me, whereas there are over 5,200 confirmed victims of child abuse and neglect in San Bernardino County each year. The City of Chino Valley School District and the County of San Bernardino are dedicated to find ways to protect all children and provide resources for those in need. And whereas child abuse and neglect can be reduced by ensuring each family has the support they need to raise their children in a happy and healthy environment. And whereas the City of Chino recognizes the blue ribbon as the international symbol for children abuse prevention in order to raise community's awareness and support for this cause. And now I, Dennis Shates, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim April 2016 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. We'd like to present this to you guys on behalf of the City Council and the citizens. Jack, come on.
Good evening, Mayor Yates and members of the Council. Thank you for your continued support with the Community Services Department. Chino Human Services has dedicated counselors and case managers who offer services to not only our children, but our families within the city and outside the city. Some of the resources that they provide are counseling, case management, and then also partnerships with agencies like the Children's Network. These services not only bring awareness to the families and the communities, but also reduces the risk of child abuse and neglect within our community. If you do know someone who is impacted by this, you could definitely visit our city website or Human Services, which is across the street at the Carolyn Owens Community Center.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Jeffrey Horn, like the Mayor said. I am actually part of the Children's Network Child Abuse Prevention Council, which is actually something that's been around for many years. I'm not sure exactly how far back it goes, but I know that the Children's Network actually started back in 1986, so pretty long time. The council actually consists of a number of different professionals that have interest in keeping children safe and making sure that child abuse is minimized and hopefully prevented and cured with the families as best we can. There's professionals from public health, law enforcement, the schools, counseling, mental health agencies, and certainly Children and Family Services. The importance of this month is basically the awareness. We really like people to know that there are families every day that are struggling with these issues with child abuse and neglect, and unfortunately, a lot of them it has to do with substance abuse and mental health, which we have professionals involved with that as well. Some of the statistics I think your mayor already touched on, that there's 5,000 children every year that come into care with the department, with Children and Family Services, because of abuse or neglect.
How many is that a day? I can't do the math.
Oh my gosh, that's not my forte either.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I know, like some of the stats they wanted us to kind of let you guys be aware of is that in the county in 2015 there were 32,631 referrals regarding child abuse to our hotline. So, and of those, 5,000 of the kids that came into care for that. The average number of referrals per month is 2,700. And some kids are reunited with families, some kids end up being adopted, some kids end up with relatives. We work with people and agencies like Myra and Michelle, your human services people here in the city, to get those kids situated in some sort of permanent place to live until they can become adults and hopefully productive people. As far as City of Chino, you guys, in the last couple of years, it's actually, last year was 737 referrals regarding child abuse in the City of Chino alone. And there's 24 different cities, incorporated cities in the county. You guys actually was a little bit down, even though that seems maybe a little high, I don't know. It was 791 in 2014. In 2014, 791 referrals for child abuse. The thing that I also like to just let people know is that we count on all the people in this room and all the professionals and all the school teachers, doctors, relatives, family, friends, neighbors. We don't ask for referrals. We don't, knock on people's doors or they come to us. They come to the hotline. And all those different people in the community are the eyes and ears for the department. We don't know what's happening to a child unless someone out there tells us. So if you suspect something, if you are wondering about something, if a child is being treated right or the conditions in the home or the parents are just not doing good, you can call 211, which is just a general number for all kind of human services and social service things, just 211 on your phone, and they will connect you to the hotline you can report. And I really encourage you just to be aware of those things, look for those little blue ribbons out there. Any number of people, are part of this, this struggle to try and get kids taken care of and get the parents better. And just to touch on, you said you don't have to go to L.A. Actually, Loma Linda University Children's Hospital
One like that.
is it's the Children's Assessment Center. They do the forensic exams and interviews with kids that have been abused for, like, if there's criminal issues. You see all those same horrible things right there at Loma Linda. So you don't have to go to L.A. to see that. And believe me, I've been at Loma Linda. I've had a number of my social workers, I'm a supervisor, going there for all of the above of what
See those
your
children,
mayor
they
said.
can't protect themselves? I don't know.
The parents are having a lot of issues. There's some really sick kind of things.
How do they
need to-
punish them? A little waterboarding or something?
I will let law enforcement address the punishing. That's a whole other thing. But that's why we have children's assessment centers that they do the interviews, all that stuff. Law enforcement's there, social workers are there, and they get it all done at one time. So you don't have to have like the cop interview, the social worker interview, the doctor interview. It's one place all at one time. But all those things happen right here. You don't need to go to LA to find those. All right. Thank you very much again for having me. I appreciate you. You guys are our eyes and ears out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys keep up the good work. We appreciate it. Thank you. I want you to stay up here for the peace thing. Yep. Next, Mayor's Home Beautification Award for April 2016. And the winner for this month is, where's the drum roll? Larry and Denise Goodman, if you'll come forward, please. That's his back in. Okay. Hi. Good to meet you. Nice to meet you. Stand right here. Get a certificate for you. Mayor's Home Beautification Award, Larry and Denise Goodman, reside here in Chino. Thank you for the continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. We're awfully proud of your home and how you take care of it. I'd like to present that to you. And this is I think we have a picture. It should come up. This is a picture that we'd like to give you of your beautiful home. I don't see it on the television, but here it is. We'd like to present you. Okay. We have 2 lapel pins and 2 pen and pencil sets. And, what is this from? Oh, it's from our county supervisor. Certificate of Recognition awarded to Larry and Denise in honor of receiving the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for the month of April. That's from the county supervisor, Kurt Hagman. And they just keep coming with presents. This is we'd like to put this, or you can put this in your yard. And what happens after this year, the next Home Beautification Award, the mayor and council will pick the winner for the year. And you'll be invited for lunch to the state of the city. And we have a little present for you if you win. So we'd like to have you put that in your yard. So, okay, who does all the work? You got a scab on your nose. Has she been?
Folks, we should reminder to wear your sunscreen. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Hundreds of beautiful homes in Chino, and we're thrilled that you picked us.
Yeah, just keep up the good work. And so, do you tell him what to do in the yard, or how's that work?
He does.
Huh?
You bet.
Don't start a fight here. Yeah. Got their mobile on. Well, keep up. You have a beautiful home, and keep up the good work. Let's give him a round of applause. Good job. Okay, we'll open public communications. I have several requests to speak under public communications. I'd like to call up the Joe McCardle, Officer McCardle, if you'll come forward. It's a presentation for Isaiah's Rock.
Thank you, Mayor
Why
and Council.
why don't you come up here, McCardle? Yeah, give him the mic.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for allowing us here. We're here today to present a check to Isaiah's Rock. If I have Sandra, y'all come up from Los Portales. Last month, the Chino Police Department had an opportunity to partner with Sandra and Los Portales to raise money for Los Portales. A bunch of the police officers and professional staff at the police department became servers for a day. We tried. We weren't so good. So we served chips and Coke and some food. Sandra and her business were so nice and donated part of the proceeds to Isaiah's Rock. So if we could have members of Isaiah's Rock, the King family, come up. We'd like to present you all with a check. So for the one night, come on up there, I'll hand it to you. For the one night of 5 hours, the community came out and supported the Chino Police Department in Los Portales and was able to raise $2,424 to donate directly to Isaiah's Rock. But this was a direct effort. This was a direct effort of all the members of the community coming out and supporting and tipping and leaving extra money. So here you go. And actually, the real check Sandra has to give to you. But thank you. Thank you for allowing us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the hard work you do. We appreciate it so much. Well, I'd like to thank the Police Association because you guys are wonderful. We love the City of Chino and we love all the officers in our city. Thank you so much.
And I have two thank yous. One to Joe McCardle and the Police Association for all that you did that night. I'd just like to say that these guys, they risk their lives daily for us to protect us in the community, and then on their own time they come out and wait on tables and for charities in the neighborhood. So that's kind of above and beyond, the call of duty. And so I recognize that and I honor that tonight. And you guys really are the good guys. So thank you for all that you do. And to Sandra, thank you for hosting us that night. We had a lot of fun and you raised a lot of money, and I think it was really a good thing. So thank you for doing that.
I'd like to thank all our kids back there.
And all our helpers, all the members of Isaiah's Rock.
Well, thank you very much. That was nice. Los Portales is my wife's favorite Mexican restaurant. How come the council can't wait on tables? We never get invited to do that.
We're too old. Yeah.
We're too old?
They want good.
Well, they probably want all the food delivered to the tables, right?
They actually want what they order.
Oh, is that? Well, I don't know. Do that then. The next request is from our very own Belinda Douglas, the Chino Valley Chamber report. Where is she? There she is.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I came to provide an update on upcoming events and to give you a slight overview of what we're currently up to. We are actively interviewing right now for the position of Director of the Chamber. And I wanted to also point out last night's Taste of Chino Valley had 26 restaurants and we had about 350 attendees to enjoy the Taste of Chino Valley. Today we had a grand opening and ribbon cutting for Smart and Final on Chino Hills Parkway. Tomorrow, Business at Breakfast, we will have Love Them All Foundation providing a presentation, and what they are is a nonprofit that provides sporting events for handicapped children that are both mentally and physically handicapped, and for children that are disenfranchised, they do cover their equipment and their needs, so that's free to poor children. On April 13th, we'll have Raise Your Energy and Celebrate Your Life, presented by Bhakta Coaching and Consulting. On April 21st, we're going to have our monthly mixer at On a Mission Karate Center on Grand Avenue. On April 27th, we're going to have the 2016 Mayor Dennis Yates State of the City Address. So we're feverishly working hard at that, and that'll be at the Chaffey College Chino Community Center. And then on the 28th, we'll have a chamber member-only pizza and politics, and our guest will be Infragard. And that's it from the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Belinda. Appreciate that. I'd like to call up Celia Guerrera from the Congresswoman Norma Torres' office.
Lower this a bit. Thank you, Mayor, City Council, and residents of Chino. Good evening. I just have two quick announcements. I have the first. It's our Veterans Resource Fair. It will be held this Saturday, April 23rd at 9 a.m. We will be actually making appointments for our local veterans so that they can make a direct contact and outreach with the VA. If they have any stalled cases, we can kind of expedite that for them. So if you have any veterans in mind, please, we would appreciate it if you could share this with your local veterans in Chino. I will leave these out here for the attendees for tonight. Our second announcement is, and I'm sorry, it's actually located at the Montclair Community Center in the city of Montclair. And then our second announcement is for our Youth Advisory Committee, which will be launching in May. Deadlines are on April 29th. It's a 6-month program for high school students who are sophomores and juniors. It's a great initiative for them and opportunity for them to learn a little bit more of what government legislation entails. It's a great opportunity for them to boost their resume before they apply to the colleges or a military branch. So I will leave this here again for any of the students who are interested. If you can share this on your website, we would again greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the info. Appreciate it. Now, next, Ralph Esposito from the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation.
Thank you, Mayor, to give us the chance to speak to the board.
Lift that microphone up a little bit so we can.
To speak to the board, I just want to introduce Mrs. Josie Garro, that she has some information that we want to pass on to the city.
Go right ahead.
Good evening,
Good evening.
everyone. Okay, this April 23rd, we're going to be having an amateur boxing expedition, and it's a Saturday night fight. There's going to be 8 amateur bouts. It's going to be the Chino Boxing Club versus the Duarte Boxing Club. The doors will open at 5:30. The event is from 6 to 9. The admission is $15, so you get 8 bouts of boxing, and it also includes dinner. So, yeah, and it's going to be here at the NAC, our Neighbor Activities Center, right here at the corner at 5201 D Street, Chino. And if you would like to get any tickets, you could call Jim Espinosa. He's our fundraising chairman, and the number is on there. So I'm going to give each of you a flyer, and we hope that those people that enjoy boxing, it's amateur boxing, it's our boys from here, and it just was really nice. This year we had a banquet at the community building, and many of the members, we sat at different tables. I was able to sit at a table with some of our boxers that received awards, and their parents were just like so proud. And we should be so proud that we have a program like this, because it gives, I have seen these kids grow. They start off little, and then they go into high school, and they're doing something. We're also, this is a fundraiser, and we also want funds to be able to have our gym looking nice. We have one of the nicest gyms in all around. And I'm very proud that people come, and they're just, it's like they're really coming to a nice area to see boxing matches when we do have our matches. But with this funding, we're able to give scholarships. This year we have seniors, and it's like our coaches are there to mentor them, and they grow. I just see them, and I talk to them, and I can see how they grow. When I go in there, they see me for the board meetings or for the banquets, but they come and they say hello to me, they shake my hand, and they're just so thankful that they're able to have a place to go, and the fee is very minimal for them to be able to participate in the sports, because many of these families don't have the funding to be in some of the sports that are more expensive. And this is very reasonable. It's 5 days a week. They get to go to shows. They get to travel. They get to go outside of Chino. And that really is what makes them grow. So I'm really happy that we're starting our scholarships again. So hopefully with this funding and the funding of people that do support us, we'll be able to give scholarships to more students and be able to give them the supplies they need and keep our boxing program awesome.
I know when I go to the tournaments, they come from all over California.
Right.
To box here, and when they walk in that gym and see it set up, they go, Chino's rich. And because a lot of these kids, they're fighting out of garages and dilapidated buildings, and when they walk in here, they're very impressed.
And also, we're able to support for our kids to go to tournaments. The parents don't have to pay. The Boxing Foundation takes care of all of that. So it's a lot. Our program it's a very good program. We even have boxers that come from other cities to be in our program.
I know.
So that just tells you how good they are. So and just the atmosphere, I'm very impressed. I'm happy that these kids have a safe place to go to, and their parents are comfortable that they go there. Many of our parents volunteer also to be there, and they sit there and watch their kids, and it's really awesome. So
it's a neat program.
I'm going to give each one of you.
Just give it to our city clerk there, Angela.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for the info. Very good. Next, we're going to do, we have a request from Pastor Chris May to give us the invocation. Those who would like to participate, please rise. Chris?
Thank you. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you, Father, just for this opportunity to get together and to thank you, Father, for the government that you've provided in this city. Father, for the excellence that they operate in. Father, we thank you for every aspect of it. The mayor, the city council, city managers, the police and fire departments. Father, we pray for your blessings on each and every one of them, dear God. Father, we pray, Father, that you would give them wisdom as they go about their duties. Father, that the decisions that would be made would be right in your eyes, dear God. And again, Father, we thank you for these blessings. And this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Chris. Have a seat, folks. I have noticed we have some students from Don Lugo High School, and so it's traditional here that you folks get up, line up, give us your name, your teacher's name, and your course that you're taking that requires you to be here. So don't be bashful. Line them up. Who's first? There you go.
Let me fix the mic.
Your name.
I like that guy right there. He's good.
Hurry up, you're breaking my camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, my name is Armando Dame. I'm a senior at Don Lugo High School, and I'm here for my economics class for Mr. High Street.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Medina. I'm also a senior at Don Lugo High School, and I'm also here for Mr. High Street's economics class.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Julianne Becerra, and I'm senior also, and I'm here for econ for Mr. High Street.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Sanchez. I'm also a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm here for an econ class for Mr. High Street.
Welcome.
Hello, I'm Andrew Sierra. I'm a senior at Don Antonio High School, and I'm here for economics class for Mr. High Street.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Ivan Soto. I am a senior from Don Lugo, and I am in government. Sorry, and I'm from Mr. Say's class.
Thanks.
How you doing? My name is Ian Edwards, here from Don Lugo High School. I'm a senior, and I'm here for Mr. Siday's government class.
Welcome.
My name is Dylan Zavaleta. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm here from Mr. Reichfield's economics class.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
My name is Christian Scrimmager. I go to Don Lugo High School. I'm a senior, and I'm here for Mr. High Street's economics class.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Andre Allen. I'm a senior from Don Lugo High School, and I'm from Mr. High Street's economics class.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
Hi, my name is Dane Ford. I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm also here for Mr. High Street's economic class.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Raul Paredes. I'm here from Don Lugo, and I'm here because of Mr. Siday's government class.
Hello, my name is Alex Hernandez, and I'm here for Ms. Bristow's government class from Don Lugo.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adalis Guerrero, and I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm here for Ms. Bristow's government class.
Welcome.
My name is Matthew Gonzalez. I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm here for Ms. Bristow's government class.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Raimundo Rodriguez, and I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm here for Ms. Bristow's government class.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Frank Jong, and I am also at Don Lugo for Miss Bristow's government class.
Well, welcome. Now, I'm sure all you guys will be taking notes and all of that. You all have a copy of the agenda and all that stuff? Yeah, right. Okay. Now we'll move on to the consent calendar. Anybody wishing to pull an item for discussion may do so. If not, I will entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Council Member Elrod. Please vote. Yes, 4 and 1 absent, that being Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa. Next, under public hearing, prior to the vote of the City Council, any member of the audience will have the opportunity to address Council on any items listed under public hearing. Council requests, but is not required that you state your name for the record. Item 11, introduction of ordinance number 2016-005, update to the Title 16 signs and Title 20 zoning. Report this evening is by our City Planner, Christine Lovell. Christine?
Zoning code are intended to address issues that staff has had with implementation of the various provisions, as well as providing some clarification on the existing language. 2 key changes to the sign code include increasing the number of days for promotional banners. Currently, our sign code allows 60 days, and this amendment is to increase it to 90 days, and that will provide for greater flexibility for businesses to advertise. The second changes would allow commercial businesses that have currently just one monument sign or a wall sign, but not both. It would allow both to be located along the same street frontage. So that, again, would allow businesses to have some greater visibility. Some of the key changes to the zoning code include our home occupation permits. Those are for home-based businesses, and we would no longer require a home-based business that is only relying on the telephone or the computer as part of their business. Those would no longer be required to get a home occupation permit. Businesses that have outdoor seating that they want to cover with an overhead trellis or a shade structure would be allowed to have a reduced setback to do that. So I think it would be able to allow more businesses to provide some shade out where they have outdoor seating, where currently they wouldn't be able to meet the setback. And then there's 2 relatively new uses that we're seeing more in the city that the code doesn't currently address, and those are microbreweries. Those are really a popular thing now in other cities, and we've had a few requests. So that, and then the other use is a vape or e-cigarette lounges. Those are uses that we're getting asked about a lot, and the code amendment would require a conditional use permit for those uses. So we would have the ability to regulate those on a case-by-case basis and add conditions of approval where appropriate. Finally, the tree replacement provisions that we are proposing, we currently do have tree replacement provisions in the ordinance. We are recommending certain changes be made that would help us to address some of the issues that we've encountered with implementing the current ordinance. Our goal is still to require that any trees that are removed from property would be required to be replaced and planted on site at the established rate and number that's in the ordinance. However, because the number of trees that are required to be replaced is typically 2 or 3 trees for each tree removed, sometimes it's difficult to fit all those trees on the site. So this ordinance would allow for an in lieu fee to be deposited with the city if they could not replace all of the required trees on site. And really, it's important that we found that putting more trees on the site than were originally there are difficult to allow the trees to get established and to remain viable and healthy without there being problems over time as the trees mature. So we think this is a good way to provide the ability to get trees planted on site, but also to allow for fees to be placed with the city. And those fees would be based on the cost of the tree itself as well as the installation, and those would be placed in the city's street tree ordinance. So we'd be able to use that money to replace street trees around the city or on other city properties, city parks, and that sort of thing. Staff researched a number of cities when we were looking at changing this part of the ordinance, and we found that the changes are consistent and reasonable, and they provided the needed flexibility to replace trees throughout the city. So in conclusion, staff recommends that the City Council approve the proposed ordinance, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Christine. Prior to council questions or comments, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the council on this issue may do so now. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Councilman Elrod?
How does this affect the spectrum that just cut down all those trees and they have to go 3 to 1? Will that change?
Yes, we have been working with the property owner there. They've had to hire a landscape architect and an arborist to assess the trees that were taken down and provide us a total number. So they have done that and provided a plan. So they removed about over 200 trees, and the replacement requirement, subject to this ordinance, they would be required to replace 470 trees on site. So currently, the plan that they have proposed would be to replace about a little over 300 on site, and the rest would be paid in lieu fees.
I was under the impression of the old ordinance that we could request, instead of planting a certain size tree, 3 of them you could update or make it larger tree to be replaced. Is that still in effect?
That part of the ordinance was amended a couple of years ago, so it was a one-for-one, like-for-like replacement. Our current ordinance that we have right now does allow for a smaller tree, but a number of 2 or 3 trees to be replaced in lieu of one larger tree. So we already have made that change to the code a couple of years ago, so we don't have that anymore in the code.
We don't have the 3 to 1 in the code?
We have the 3 to 1, but not the 1 to 1 at the same size. So it's 2 or 3 trees at a smaller size for every tree that's removed.
Are we going to be able to get a larger trees in that plaza where they took the large ones out? That's my question.
They won't be as large as the ones that were taken out. To put the same size tree in the same planters, those trees would not survive because now they're having to get established in a much smaller planter area. So in looking at it with and we also had the plan and their proposal reviewed by our city landscape consultant, and they've suggested that we should be collecting fees in lieu of, but in order to be able to make sure that the trees are going to survive there, that we are getting a number of sizes, 24, 36, 48-inch box trees, but they won't be the same size as what was removed.
So in lieu fee, what would that amount to in this particular situation?
In this case, the in lieu fee comes to about $52,000, and the cost of the trees that they will be providing on site, the total cost is $340,000.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Well, I know for a fact, being on a sandbag where we build the freeways and had to put the landscaping in, we finally realized through the years that the trees and stuff, the smaller the tree, the better chance that the root ball will take hold. And before we were planting these mature trees, and about half of them wouldn't survive. So we started putting even 1-gallon trees in there. They have a lot better chance of surviving if you do that than putting older mature trees. Any other questions for Howie?
So, Chris, is this basically for property owners, or for are we talking about more commercial, or are we talking about homeowners also?
It wouldn't apply to single-family residential. It would apply to multifamily residential and common areas in single-family developments, and then mostly non-residential is what we would see, commercial and industrial properties.
Okay, so in other words, if somebody has a big tree in their yard and they want to take it out, we're not going to make them put 3 trees in. Is that
correct?
For our homeowners, yeah.
But the existing code does have some provisions about removing trees on.
Right. The existing code doesn't distinguish between residential or non-residential.
So there are provisions in there. I would recommend if somebody wants to take down a large tree that they do check with the city.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Sorry.
If somebody planted a tree and 30 years later, this tree's big and huge, and now, it's tearing up their landscaping, or it's tearing up the sidewalk, or it's just diseased and they want to take it out, I'm just concerned that we have to make them put 3 trees in their yard. That would be, I think, a little over compensating, I think, from something like that. So I just want to make sure that, your trees grow and they get large. If they get diseased or they're too big and you take them out, I want to make sure the single-family people don't have to pay a large fee, or are they going to have to pay a large fee or have to put 3 trees in?
Right, we do have a provision in the code that says if the tree is severely damaged or diseased or it's uprooting sidewalks or something like that, then they would replace it at a 1-to-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Or they wouldn't have to put a 48-inch box or a 60-inch box tree that could cost thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine.
I got some clarification. We're allowing signage up to 90 days now. Is there a minimum or a maximum amount at a time? Could you do it, hang one banner 90 days, or do you have to do it 30-day increments, or how is that defined?
You can do it in any number of increments that you want, as long as the total for the year doesn't exceed 90.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? I would entertain a motion. Moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilmember Howie. Please vote. Item passes in the majority. Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, Mayor, council members, this is ordinance number 2016-005. It reads, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, amending selected provisions of the sign code and zoning code of the City of Chino.
Thank you. Item 12, formation of Community Facilities District 2016-1. Our report this evening is by our Director of Finance, Mr. Rob Burns. Mr. Burns?
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. On February 16th of this year, the City Council adopted Resolution number 2016-012, declaring the City of Chino's intent to establish CFD 2016-1. The CFD is located east of Euclid Avenue and north of Bickmore Avenue. The establishment of the CFD will allow the city to levy a facilities tax and a services tax. These taxes will be used to pay for the infrastructure and public services required in this area. I do need to note that the list of facilities eligible for reimbursement contained in the tax consultant's report have been changed slightly to exclude some previously listed private improvements and replaced with additional public improvements. The dollar amount of the improvements is essentially the same. Tonight's actions are to adopt the required resolution of formation for the CFD, call a special election, and immediately hold the special election, tally the election results, and then approve the introduction of the ordinance to levy the special taxes. It is recommended the City Council adopt the proceedings as outlined by the Mayor this evening. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Burton. This is the time and the place for a duly noticed public hearing regarding the proposed establishment of Community Facilities District number 2016-1 of the City of Chino and the proposed issuance of bonds within that district. I'd like to welcome anyone and declare this public hearing open. The City Council has previously received and reviewed a Community Facilities District report prepared by Albert A. Webb Associates, special tax consultant to the city, which is hereby entered into the record for the public hearing. At this time, are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this matter? If so, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and present your comments. Anybody wish to speak on this issue? Seeing no further speakers, I hereby declare the public hearing closed. At this time, we are ready to approve the following resolutions. Resolution number 2016-024, establishing Community Facilities District number 2016-1, Bickmore 185 of the City of Chino, authorizing the levy of special taxes and calling an election therein. And Resolution 2016-25, determining the necessity of to incur bonded indebtedness within said Community Facilities District and calling an election therein. Would request a motion by council and a second. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. It's approved in the majority. The resolutions that we have just adopted establish Community Facilities District number 2016-1 authorize the levy of special taxes within the district in accordance with the rate and method of apportionment attached to Resolution 2016-24, determine the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness, and call on an election within the district, which election is to be held at this time by the city clerk, as the district has received from all owners of taxable property within the district waivers as to the time for holding the election. Well, I will now direct the city clerk to conduct a special election and announce the results. Angela?
Thank you, Mayor. The city received one ballot representing 19 votes, and all 19 votes were cast in favor of Proposition A, B, and C. The measure passes.
Thank you. Having heard the statement of the city clerk certifying the results of the election, I will now entertain a motion to adopt. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Councilman Elrod? Councilman Elrod? Use your pointer. Do you have a pointer?
Yeah, use both. It's the same thing.
There it goes. It's approved 4-4, 1 absent. Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes, Mayor, this is ordinance number 2016-006. It reads, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, acting in its capacity as a legislative body of Community Facilities District Number 2016-1, known as Bigmore 185, of the City of Chino, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the district.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Item 13, establishment of residential parking permit area on Guardian Way between Vernon Avenue and Benson Avenue. Our staff report this evening is by our Public Works Director and Assistant City Manager, Mr. Jose Allaire. Mr. Allaire.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Guardian Way is an east-west street that runs along the front of the new Chino Police Department and terminates on the east at Benson Avenue. Currently, there is a development on the north side of Guardian Way between Vernon and Benson. This is right in front of Walnut Elementary School. The development was conditioned to construct full improvements to Guardian Way since homes will now be facing this street. As part of the city's review of the project, the police department requested that a permit parking district be established on the north side of Guardian Way along the frontage of this property. This request is to ensure that parents don't drop off or pick up their children mid-block and cause for mid-block crossings by the children. So then this is to ensure their safety. They just don't want them parking on that side, so they'll run across the street and go to the school. Staff conducted a survey of all the property owners in favor of this proposed parking district, and the property owners are in favor. And therefore, it's staff's recommendation that the City Council conduct a public hearing regarding the establishment of this residential permit parking area, adopt Resolution 2016-023 establishing the residential parking area on Guardian Way between Vernon and Benson by amending Section 2 of Resolution 86-44. That concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Allaire. I'll open the public hearing on this item. Anybody wishing to address the council may do so now. Very quiet group. I'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, second by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Passes yes with 1 absent. Okay, under new business, item 14, initiate annexation to lighting a maintenance district tract map number 18957, FH2 LLC, and Frontier Land Holdings. Our staff report again is by our Public Works Director, Assistant City Manager, Mr. Allaire. Mr. Allaire.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. On October 20th, 2014, the City of Chino Planning Commission conditionally approved tract map number 18957 to construct 84 residential lots on the north side of Guardian Way between Vernon and Benson Avenue. And this is the same project that we just established, the residential parking district. Now, the conditions of approval required the owner to annex the property into the city's lighting and landscape district number 2002-1. Additionally, the track and the adjacent commercial properties are currently in Zone 61 of the Lighting and Landscape District 83-2, so they're already in a district. Per state law, the City Council must, by resolution, order preparation of an engineer's report estimating the annual assessment for each parcel, approve the report, and by resolution, order the initiation of the annexation process into 2002-1. By way of ballots mailed to the property owners will submit their support or protest for the annexation to Lighting and Landscape District 2002-1 and the detachment from 83-2. Therefore, it's staff's recommendation that the City Council adopt Resolution 2016-027, ordering the engineers to prepare and file a report for annexation of tract map number 18957 to the Lighting and Landscape District 2002-1, approve the engineer's report, adopt Resolution 2016-028, ordering the commencement of the proceedings of the said annexation and detachment of the Lighting and Landscape District 83-2, and schedule a public hearing for Tuesday, June 7th, 2016. That concludes my report on this item, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Allaire. Prior to council comments or questions, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody in the audience? I'll close public comment. Any comments by council members? I have a question. We have, through the years historically, number one, have not created any additional landscaping districts for good reasons. And so we're adding to another lighting and landscaping district, correct?
We're adding to an existing lighting.
Why are we doing that?
Because we're taking it from 83-2. When we parcelize this, 2002-1 allows us to assess a CPI over a period of time, and that way we can collect enough funds for the true value of the cost.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, I've been around the horn with this quite a while. After so long, the expenses of maintaining the lighting and landscaping continue to escalate, and the in pops Prop 218 for order for the city to raise the maintenance rates. And recognizing that, it impacts our general fund. So we have in the last few years on developments like this requiring that they create an HOA. Why wasn't this done in this development? It's been council policy that the lighting and landscapes don't really work.
Yeah,
unless this is required by law, I'm not going to vote for it.
Okay. Do you know if there's an HOA on this? Okay. Our community development director says there is an HOA that is required for this property.
Okay, then why are we including it in the landscaping district?
Because a lot of the streets there are public streets, and they are, per the Planning Commission, required to take their landscaping and their lights and put them into this lighting and landscape district, and then the city is responsible for collecting and maintaining on the public streets.
I don't agree with that. Unless there's some specific law that we have to do it.
I think overall the concern is if we don't do it, then we would not recoup our costs.
We don't recover our costs on lighting and landscape districts anyway.
Right.
And then we got the headache with the 218. That's my complaint. So I will not vote yes on this. I would require staff to go back and form an HOA in that particular development without burdening the rest of the city. Because everything we're building out now is either master HOAs or so. If anybody wants to make a motion on this, they can, but I'm against it.
And I'd be happy to go back and research this and get you more information, Mayor.
Unless it's a law, you better
clarity
get
to
some
the HOA
clarity.
issue and why this is being done in this manner, and report back to you.
Okay. Nobody makes the motion, so it dies for lack of support. Item 15, award contract, alley water main install.
Mayor, can we just continue this item and bring back the information to you?
Okay, we'll continue it then,
Okay, all right, thank you.
as long as I don't vote on it until we get clarification. Item 15, award of contract, alley water main installation. Again, Mr. Allaire.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Currently, there's an existing 10-inch steel water main that is located in an easement off Central Avenue, and just to the west of it, there's an alley. This pipe is in the vicinity of Guasti Cafe and Raven Brothers Automotive, and this easement runs in the east-west direction. This 10-inch pipe is over 60 years old, and we've been having a lot of issues with it. It's been rupturing, and we've been having a lot of leaks. So staff went in and redesigned this pipe in this area. It's going to be taking access off of G Street and going into the alley. This water connection allows service to some of the properties that are to the west of that off of G Street there. So we prepared plans and specifications, and a notice inviting bids was published locally. On March 16th, we received one bid on this project, and staff attributes this low participation because of the confined work that needs to be done in an alley and specialized equipment, smaller equipment to get the trenches in for this large 10-inch pipe. So we reviewed the bid itself and compared it to previous bids we've received, and it seemed comparable to previous bids that we've had on other projects. The sole bidder, Young and Associates, who's done work in the City of Chino recently in the past, is properly licensed and deemed to be a responsible bidder, and their bid was in the amount of $154,313.80. In addition, staff's requesting authorization to spend $16,000 for contingencies and $9,686.20 for geotechnical services, bringing the total project cost to $180,000. That concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Allaire. Prior to council questions or comments, I'll open this for public comments. Anybody wishing to address? Seeing none, I'll close.
I got a question.
Oh, okay. Councilman Howie?
Yeah, Jose, I drive down that alley to go to breakfast usually once a week or every other week. I don't know why. I'm driving down the alleys of Chino. And there's always seems to be water coming down that alley. Will this project stop that from that one area? Because it's kind of like right in the middle of that alley that it runs down towards Chaffey. Is this going to alleviate some of that water coming out of there? Or is that a whole separate issue?
Some of the water, because it is due to some of it to the leaks, but a lot of times when they're flushing the whole system out, it does go out into the alley and into the street.
Okay.
So it won't alleviate that. That flushing still needs to occur.
Okay, because
we have a well back there.
Yeah, okay, because the water in that alley just tears up that whole alley. It's pretty rough on your tires when you drive on it. So.
Why do you keep using the alley?
Because it's a shortcut to the restaurant. And
Well, you'd rather tear up your car.
Hey, it's either gas or tires. I don't know. So anyway, that was my
Councilman
question.
Elrod? No, the water's in the way.
Yeah, well, we go like from Guasti on down and buy Mission cement and stuff. It's horrible.
We can certainly look into a project there. We had an alley project earlier where we addressed 3 alleys in the downtown area, and we are looking at that alley for next fiscal year, but we can certainly bring that back to you.
Well, we should do it when they're tearing it all up. That's my point.
We're only, the portion that we're tearing up is coming from the north towards like the center of the alley, and we'll certainly repair that area, but the project doesn't include alley reconstruction all the way down.
So it goes up to G Street, or does it go down to Chaffey?
It goes down towards Chaffey.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
It goes in the alley from G Street south.
Okay.
And for a short distance, not the entire length. Not the entire length.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion. Moved by Councilman Duncan. I'll second it. Oh, Tom got ahead of me there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, it passes forward with one absent. Okay. Well, I've been doing a lot of reading tonight. Look at this one. Mayor and council report. I'll start off with the mayor's report. First, I want to make sure you come out for the 14th annual corn feed run, car show, and cruise this coming Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. along Central Avenue in front of City Hall. This is an outstanding event that gives participants an opportunity to show off or view classic cars, motorcycles, big rigs, all while enjoying the open header contests, food, available shopping. All these are interested or encouraged to contact the Chino's Kiwanis Club website at www.chinokiwanis.com. Also, mark your calendar for the annual Chino Youth Track and Field Meet happening this next Saturday, April 16th, at the Chino High School John Monger Stadium, beginning at 8 a.m. This event gives the students from the Chino Valley Unified School District the opportunity to compete against each other in a number of competitive events. So if you'd like to come out and see our local athletes contend in a number of track and field events, please call the Neighborhood Activity Center at 909-334-3260 for additional information. Additionally, I'd like to give an early reminder that Wednesday, April 27th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Mayor's Annual State of the City Address. Once again, this year's event will be happening at the Chaffey College Chino Community Center and will highlight the achievements accomplished in 2015 and the future endeavors embraced by the city for 2016. Personally, this will be my last State of the City address, so I ask that you come out and join me in concluding what has been a great honor to serve all of you in the city of Chino for the past 24 years. And finally, very sadly, we are adjourning tonight's meeting in memory of Harold Roger Nelms, who passed away at the age of 85, March 28th. Mr. Nelms was co-founder for the very popular Chino Band Review and Field Show Tournament. This tournament had been a lasting impact on the entire community for more than 250,000 students competing in this tournament since its creation in 1970. Beyond starting the band review, Mr. Nelms served on the Chino Valley School Board, was named Outstanding Citizen of the Year in 1990, and served as president of the Chino Valley YMCA. Mr. Nelms is survived by his wife Helen, children Harold George and wife Deanne, and Kathleen Contos and husband David, 3 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. Harold was quite a guy for those folks that you know him or knew him. He was a great guy, and he surely will be missed. Next, Councilman Duncan.
Last week, I chaired the monthly meeting of the Board of Directors of the West Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District, and we are gearing up for summer. Mosquitoes will be breeding, so we need everybody to look for any standing water in their neighborhood. Doesn't take a whole lot of standing water for mosquitoes to breed, and especially now, we not only have the West Nile virus, but we have the new Zika virus. It's doubly important that we protect ourselves from mosquitoes. In addition, the new virus can also be spread by human contact between humans. So that's been confirmed now, so that makes it that much more dangerous going forward. Other than that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Councilman Elrod.
No report.
Councilman Howie.
Thank you, Mayor. On March 17th and 18th, Councilmember Duncan and myself and Assistant City Manager Aliri went to Washington, D.C., took our annual trip out there to talk to our congressional leaders, senators, and also the Department of Transportation and also the Department of Justice, and trying to get some funds for different projects for the police department and for our highways and roadways. And so we went there and we put in our federal agenda, and we went through there. And one of the main things is that we're still trying to obtain is more federal funding for our Pine Avenue connector, which is in planning right now. And once we get it ready to construct, then we'll go back and try to get the rest of the funding for that particular off-ramp, which would be very important for our folks in all the way, actually all the folks from Eastvale all the way through the Preserve and to the 71. Of course, they still have to go south on the 71 into Riverside County, which only goes down to 2 lanes, which is a continual issue for that 71 down to the 91. You know, if you go there in the morning, or in the afternoon, you kind of know what the issue is for that area. So we'll continue to monitor that and to continue to do that. I also attended a CDA finance meeting on the 24th and a community services meeting. The comment was made earlier tonight that maybe we had kind of on the children's abuse issue, that maybe we have kind of a high number, and it might be part of the issue might be because we have such a big department that really encourages reporting. And I think when it talked about the 5,200 cases that are reported, there's got to be a lot more that never get reported. But this city definitely, we work hard at trying to take care of this issue, and that's probably why we have that number, is that we're with our counseling programs and what community services do. We do an excellent job, and a lot of people really take advantage of our community services department. So my hat's off to our department. They do a great job. Attended the county city conference up in Lake Arrowhead last week, and the county had their usual good reports about how things are progressing. We're part of 24 cities in San Bernardino County with 2 million people. So as we continue to grow, our county just gets larger and larger. And then I kind of I thought that seemed like a lot. But then I looked at L.A. County, and they've got I think they have 88 cities in L.A. County with, I think it's 9 or 10 million people. So the difference between our county and L.A. County is pretty dramatic from that standpoint. But I know the county does a good job, and it was a good conference. And last but not least, I attended the Taste of the Chino Valley last night. It was pretty well attended, and the food was good, and it's great to see everybody out there, and it's always a good event for the chamber. Yeah, that's my comment.
Thanks, Councilman. City Manager, thank you. Report?
I have no report, Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney, Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes, I do have a brief report. I just want to report to the public that tomorrow at 5 o'clock, the City Council will have a special meeting to consider the question of whether or not the city will select its elected officials, as it's always done, or change it to a by-district method of selecting its council members. It's a very important meeting. I recognize that the public is asking why, and that question can be answered tomorrow. We will have 2 specialists in this area to explain all of this to us. One is an expert demographer who deals with all the numbers, and one is a lawyer who's an expert in this area to explain what is going on. And it's important for the public to understand why we got here, what the risks are, and what the city's options are. But it's equally important for the council to receive input from the public about how districts should be shaped if, in fact, the council chooses to go that way, because the council has wide latitude under the law to select those districts, and the selection process is based upon factors that are important to the public. And so the more people that come and the more people that contribute, the better the decision will be made by the council, not only with respect to the actual shape and content of the districts, but also the legal basis which would provide support for whatever the decision is that the council makes. I won't say anything more about it other than it's important, and we will have the specialist to explain those things to us, so you are encouraged to come tomorrow. And in addition, there will be more meetings that will be required so that the public has an opportunity to air those options and to give its input to the City Council before it makes its final decision if it chooses to go that way. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Police Chief Karen Comstock, any comments?
Good evening, Mayor Yates and members of the City Council. I'd like to take this opportunity to let the community know that on Saturday, April 16th, at the Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, located at 12205 Pipeline Avenue, we'll be hosting our next session of the Breaking Barriers United workshop. That'll be from 10 a.m. in the morning till 12 p.m., so I encourage everybody to come out, have an opportunity to meet their police department, understand how we function and why. It's a great workshop. I know that some of you have attended, so we're looking forward to hosting that. As well as, we're getting ready to come up on our 25th session of our Citizens Academy, which will begin on Monday evenings, April 18th, and run for approximately 8 weeks with a break for Memorial Day through Monday evening, June 13th, from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. It's hosted at the Chino Police Department, and if you're interested in attending our Citizens Academy, which is a great look at the operations from everything from dispatch to our special operations to patrol operations, please contact Crime Prevention Specialist Olivia Applegate at 909-334-3087. You have any questions I can answer?
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Is Fire Chief Shackelford here? Oh, there he is. Well, thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to stand adjourned until tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. right here in the council chambers for a special city council meeting. So we will stand adjourned. Drive safely.